Welcome to IDC Summit. It's a pleasure to be with you again. Today, I'm going to talk about zero trust and more importantly, what you need to know. I'm Dr. Erdal Ozkaya. I work at Standard Chartered Bank as the Regional Chief Information Security Officer. I have multiple books, which some of them are bestsellers on Amazon, awarded. So you can find later all about this if you really want to. If you want to be in touch with me, this is all my communication details. Feel free to find me in social media, watch my sessions in my YouTube channel, and so on. Let's go to the topic. So before we even start talking about zero trust, I would like to talk about the cybersecurity landscape. What happened last year in 2020? I mean, besides COVID, us need to wear masks all the time, try to keep social distance, and all these changes. What else happened in the cybersecurity landscape? Unfortunately, there was an attack every 39 seconds. The cybercrime costed the global economy lots of money, more than 400, I mean, you can read it yourself, more than $450 billion. There were more than, again, 4,000 ransomware attacks. This is really important because regardless of the size of an organization, victims had to pay millions of dollars as ransom to get their network back. And, unfortunately, nobody did notice that until they either saw the ransomware notice or in average 11 months. When we look at the attack vectors, unfortunately, still most of the attacks start via email. Still, misconfiguration attacks, misconfigurations done by us is still very high. Still, there is lots of components that we need to improve our defenses to not to be a victim. And one of those is social engineering. We keep falling into the tricks. We keep believe the attackers, the threat actors, that there is a flash update. I know it was a very obvious example, or there is many other, free stuff, or there is a solution for COVID, or he is the link for something. Unfortunately, we still click on those. So why did I mention this? I mean, all of this comes from hackers, and somehow we pay more than $450 billion globally to the bad guys, or it's costing us that much. So why not find a solution where we hopefully can stop or at least minimize those attacks? And when cybersecurity veterans sit down, they thought about zero trust. So what is the zero trust? I'm pretty sure you started to hear this a lot. First of all, keep in mind, zero trust is a strategic initiative that helps prevent successful data breach, eliminating the concept of trust from an organization network architecture point. It has the latest modern digital environment. It requires latest digital environment to have network segmentation, to have network segmentation in a way that we can prevent lateral movement. Because what happens is, all this past, the hash attacks, all the supply chain attacks, once they get into a machine, hackers usually will try to find a way all the way to the Active Directory, the domain control accounts, to take over. So zero trust is trying to prevent that from the beginning. It provides layer 7 threat prevention, and the idea of it is to simplify granular user access control. What happens is basically we're trying to move away from our perimeter moves to, from our traditional perimeter closer to where data resides. At the end, we all work for data, regardless what you do. Like, I'm a Chief Information Security Officer, right, in a region. But my real job is, yes, I know I have to create security culture. Yes, I have to work with my red team, blue team, with my cyber defense centers, with my stakeholders. But the whole idea is me protecting the data that my organization is creating. In my case, money, PI data. In your case, could be something else. You could be working into a water bottle company, and the data is, of course, maybe this could be an IP, this could be anything, but we have to protect the data. The data could be in a network, in a cell phone, in a digital device, in the cloud. So we have to find a way to prevent it. So protect that, sorry. So why zero trust? That's exactly what I mentioned in my first slide, the landscape. The adversaries are adapting, increasingly focusing their attacks through channels, through third-party supply chains. An example, the SolarWind attack, which just happened to one of the world's biggest cybersecurity firm in the world. So regardless who you are, what you do, I mean, honestly, I respect FireEye, and especially I started to respect them more after the incident, how they did handle it. But regardless who you are, Microsoft, FireEye, IDC, you can be a victim. What they do is, the attackers, they always try to find the weakest link. And the easiest way is usually the third parties. This could be contractors. This could be suppliers. This could be a state or local government. This could be a research institution or a university. And if you get each sentence from the slides, I can give you a big data breach example just happened in 2020, based on the figures, based on the news. I mean, I worked with so many organizations in my previous life when I was at Microsoft that I cannot even disclose. So keep in mind, zero trust not only monitors the organization's total digital assets, but it also considers the people. Why? At the end, the people are the ones creating the data. The people use those assets, the computers, the devices, to produce or to use the data and to process them. So what is the mentality? The mentality is very simple. So if your door rings now, ding dong, what will you do? You are not just going to open it blindly. You will ask, who is it? Or when your phone rings, what will you do is usually you will see who calls you. You don't, if I call you, and I hope you will not answer yes, if I call you and ask for your password, you're going to say, hold on, who are you? You will never trust me. You will always verify, right? Same when the doorbell rings, or same when someone asks you secret information, or same when you go to your friend and look, I'm going to tell you this, but don't tell anybody. Like, you're going to tell it anyway, but we still want that verification. Promise it's going to stay between us. I'm pretty sure you had such a conversation before, at least once in your life with your friend. This is exactly what zero trust is. Never trust, always verify. Do you have a device? Sure, let me validate it. Are you a user? Sure, let me see if you're existing. Are you an app? Sure, let me authorize it. Are you connecting from a network? Sure, let me verify it. Are you trying to hack me? Let me mitigate it. So this is the ongoing compliance and enforcement. What are the benefits of zero trust? Right? This is also important to know. First of all, let me make the budget holders happy. Cost, not at the beginning though. Zero trust offers a very affordable cybersecurity advantage. It has uniform security. As I mentioned, regardless where your device, user, or location is, it tries to flatten the security playing field. It gives you full control, visibility. As everything goes to centralized security, logging management, automation, discovery of the application, you will have an eyesight end-to-end to see what's happening. It's like during, not now, but even now, we use the satellites to see everything, what's happening before we use Google Maps or Apple Maps, Bing Maps, whatever you call to go to a location. Why? Because it gives us the best route, right? It gives us the visibility, the traffic updates, and so on. What else? Cloud. I mean, we noticed the importance of the cloud, especially during this lockdown. People, organizations, they could not complete the digital transformation journey, were in trouble. They struggled during the enforced lockdowns, but organizations that had completed their digital transformation were able to continue as there was nothing. Honestly, my headcount is in Dubai, but I work most of my time during the lockdown from Australia. Or, you know, when I travel, I work for the bank, for South Africa, from Algeria, from Singapore, so from Poland, you know, from Malaysia. Why? Because I had the network ready. What else? The benefit. It's all about protecting the data. It's all about, me, I'm working in a financial institution. Auditing is really important for me. But regardless which institution you work at, if you're a cybersecurity leader, if you're a technology leader, you should care about the auditing. And Zero Trust gives you the full of it. Zero Trust gives you the advantage of lowering breach risk. It gives you advantage of improving the detection time. Remember my first slide? 11 months in average takes you to find a cyber attack. As it improves the network traffic and visibility, it will also give you full control of your environments. So, dear Erdal, you got PhD, it's easy for you to talk about this conversation, but why do we have it? Look, I know IT security is complex. You saw it in my CV in the beginning. I had 2 master's degree, a PhD degree, I wrote more than 20 books, and I'm still saying, yes, I'm fully aware IT security is complex. It's hard to define a trusted network, especially with all these attacks happening, right? You don't know who is the person next to you sometimes. If you travel like me and you go to office, you don't know everybody in the office. So we try to accept, we try to adjust, we try to trust as a nature of humanity. And, assets increasingly leverage, right? Increasingly the network. So you don't know what's going on. Like I always give this example. When you download something from the internet, what do you download? Do you know that? Or when you drink a drink, when you drink a drink, do you know what is inside? Do you check the ingredients? So what I'm trying to say is, Zero Trust sounds really good, but is it simple or is it complicated? First of all, please keep in mind, most successful Zero Trust deployments have been built from a greenfield situation, which means you don't have to really get the whole organization and say, okay, tomorrow I'm in Zero Trust. You can start to build a brand new environment and grow it up step by step. Of course, starting from your most critical assets. What else is there as challenges? First of all, your legacy systems. If you're a technology company, maybe you will have less, but if you work in a 160-year-old organization, or even 20 years organization where you still have Windows 2000s, Windows XPs, some applications which you cannot even mitigate, then Zero Trust is going to be a big challenge. What else? The peer-to-peer challenge. What else? The hybrid cloud challenge. What else? I said move from storage model to data-centric model, but is this really that easy? What else? Digital transformation. Before COVID, it was nearly an impossible task. It was an ongoing journey. After COVID, it became a priority one transformation because we are going to, 1 year has passed since COVID is now alive, and it looks like it's not going to go anywhere in the next few months at least. Your DevOps, unfortunately, your environment will need automation and removing existing manual processes. Your least privileges, your PAN, and as I mentioned at the beginning, the rapidly changing threat surface, the threat landscape, together with technology silos are the biggest challenges. So, before we begin, you should identify and categorize your workloads. You should know the purpose. You should know who's accessing where. You should know what is critical and how it needs to be accessed. Then, you have to implement access control policies. For that, you have to test lots of applications. The more applications you have, the more the time will take. But remember, build a greenfield environment. Deny what you are not sure of. Create multiple layers of security. And maybe you might some additional tools, but doesn't matter. As long as you can identify your critical workloads, as long as you can wrap your security around them, then the rest should be easy. There are some basic principles. Remember the first principle, never trust, always verify, but then you have to verify explicitly. You have to always authenticate and authorize based on all available data points, user identity, location, device health, service, workload, data classification, and of course, anomalies. The less your users have right, the better for you. And a mindset that you have to tattoo inside your brain, a tattoo in your eyes that nobody can see. Always assume that you can hack and get hacked. Remember, there is two types of organizations. One, they know they've been hacked. Two, they don't. So, you have to know your components. You have to know your identities, your devices, your applications, your data, your infrastructure, and of course your network. Now, putting all this with the challenges together should give you a clear vision. Deployment can be challenging as well. As long as you identify, look, you need a partner. And your partner is your key mission, it's your key mission partner. You have to find the best partner which fits into your organization end to end. You have to conduct a gap analysis. You have to identify the missing components for zero trust. Then you have to have a roadmap, starting with identified mission partner, but then have your own, start from a greenfield, go to a whole organization. And remember the mindset. You have to socialize the mindset. As soon as you do that, the step's going to come by itself. You will need some tools, as I said, of course, your identity and access management, your firewalls, your threat detection system, such as Komodo or Microsoft or you name it, your remote access tools, your VPNs. So you can combine all this together in this plan. In summary, zero trust comes, there is a guidance from NIST via grouping users, devices, data, services. Zero trust evaluates, as I said in the beginning, a traditional security posture from the one that we used to be based on parameters to now that we always verify, that we never trust. Regardless who they are. Are you the CEO? Sure. Please verify it. Show me ID. Are you Erdal? Sure. Please use the Authenticator app. Use the Authenticator app. So keep in mind, it's not just about technology. Implementing zero trust in an organization is all about establishing a clear policies, procedure, and process, the PPP method. With this, I'm coming to the end of my presentation. Honestly, I can speak all day about zero trust. I try to give the highlights to you. I try to give the challenges to you. I had only 20 minutes time, but hopefully in another session, we can drill down to the details. I would like to thank IDC, IDC for organizing this beautiful summit, and all and each of you for watching the session. Please don't forget to wear your mask, keep your distance, where possible, get your immunization. be safe, and I'm really looking forward to see you face to face, hopefully soon. Thank you very much.